7 has struck, and I'm calling the meeting of the Riverside Township Board of Trustees to order. Please rise, join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk Reyes, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Trustee Clark. Present. Trustee Carroll.
Present.
Trustee DeCosta.
Present.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Present.
Clerk Reyes is here. Supervisor Wilt.
Present. Okay, we have a quorum, and so we will get started. First order of business is the approval of minutes of the March 12th Board of Trustees meeting. What is your pleasure?
So I make a motion that we approve the minutes of the March 12th meeting.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion by trustee Clark, seconded by trustee DeCosta to approve the minutes of the March 12th meeting of the Board of Trustees. Are there any additions, corrections, or discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. All right, we then have the minutes of the Committee of the Whole from April 2nd. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting from April 2nd, 2024.
I'll second.
I have a motion by trustee Hollenbach, seconded by trustee Carroll, to approve the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting of April 2nd. Are there any additions, corrections, or discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried.
Supervisor,
Yes,
I'd like to abstain.
Oh, thank you. Noted. Trustee Clark has abstained from that meeting, from those minutes, because she took them. All right. Then our next order of business is communications.
And we have one communication from the individuals over at Access to Care, and it reads to the extent that on behalf of her Board of Directors and Suburban Primary Health Care Council, they thank the Riverside Township Board for their generous contribution to the Access to Care program in related to the grant of $5,000.
Thank you. That will be accepted. Okay. The next order would be the report of the supervisor, and all I have to do is find it. Okay. I am working on 3 current requests for general and emergency assistance, and already processed 2 new cases since our last meeting. Either the word is out or people are still struggling. The air conditioning project in the office was completed this week, and we just received the invoice today, so please check that you have the updated general warrant sheet that was printed today. The IMRF, the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund, conducted a review of our processes, and they noted that they had never conducted a review before, so there was nothing to criticize of us not having corrected. And I had an interview last week with their representative who pointed out some errors in the way we report. It should be noted that although we have a resolution from 2017 that indicates who is eligible for participation from our board, at the end of that year, IMRF actually changed the rules for elected officials to be eligible. They now require 1,000 hours per year of work, not a choice of 600 or 1,000, so to become eligible for participation. That was not clearly communicated to us. The only person who is in the system now who would not have those hours has been grandfathered in, so there's no issue, but going forward, trustees would definitely not be eligible for IMRF. Okay, let's see. I have not received their written conclusions yet, but when I do, we will have 2 weeks to respond. indicate how we're going to correct things. Some of the errors that we make have been going on for a long time. They were inherited by staffers who are here now. They weren't ever detected as such, and although we've gone through their training and our accountants and auditors didn't detect any problems, we learn something new every day. So I don't think there's anything dastardly in what we've done. There's no thing that can't be fixed. I did not receive any proposals from our auditing business, from my RFPs, and I don't yet have an engagement letter from our current auditors. I have emailed the auditor to see about having such. I'm not going to send reports until we have the engagement letter. The latest newsletter was already at press when we had our committee, the whole discussion of the community partnerships, so an announcement was not in the latest publication. Residents should be receiving the newsletters very soon, as they went to the post office yesterday. I attended Hauser Junior High's food drive kickoff last week. They brought everything collected from the first week of collections to our office on Friday. Instead of warehousing the cans in a pod behind the school this year, as they've been doing for years, they are taking each week's collection to a different local pantry. We were the first. The little food pantry at Riverside Presbyterian Church will be the beneficiary this week, and Share Food, Share Love in Brookfield will receive the collections from next week. I trust that the pod isn't there because of the construction going on in the back lot of the school. I am determined to finish the compilation of our efficiency committee's report and deliver it to the county this month. It's just a matter of not having other issues pop up regularly that take up the time. But I do intend to get that in. Trustee Clark has volunteered to hand deliver it. Once it's completed, it's just a matter of printing the various reports that we've already agreed to. Our ad listing the township services is in the RB Landmarks 2024 answer book. There's a copy here for your perusal if you'd like to see it. Pretty much what we've done before, just highlighting the various services that we offer. And that is my report for this month. If anybody has any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Okay, then, we can move right along. Is there a report from the assessor for this meeting? No. Okay, thank you. Trustees, Trustee DeCassola, do you have anything for
Thank you,
us?
Supervisor. No report tonight.
Okay, Trustee Carroll?
Nothing today, Supervisor.
Thank you. Trustee Clark?
Yes. We will be having a program on Tuesday, April 30th at 10 a.m. on Senior Fraud, and someone from the AG's office is going to speak, and Officer Morello, who is the senior liaison from Riverside, the Riverside Police Department. Lobby Day is April 17th, and the registration's in your Perspective magazine. And the bill, although they have several bills, the bill that we're really concerned about is House Bill 5050. And I don't know if you have gotten the legislative alerts on this. But that's a bill, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, any of them. But as part of our the DCNO report, the counties are supposed to read that and reduce expenses by 20%. And so this House Bill 5050 provides that a county board can enact a resolution or...
Excuse me, Trustee Clark, could you move the microphone closer to you?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
That a county executive or one person on the county board can create a resolution to dissolve a government entity such as a library, a township, a mosquito abatement district. And all it takes is one person to do that. And the voters have no ability to vote on this. So this is the bill that we're all very concerned about, and everybody should be concerned about.
Yeah.
So that's going to be one of our main focuses on Lobby Day.
Is there any date expected when that would come to a vote? I know
not
they've
as-
asked us to contact our legislators to vote no, but
Right, yes,
Would you please repeat the bill number?
House Bill 5050.
It doesn't have any co-sponsors.
It's,
Yeah.
in your Perspective magazine, it is featured on page 10.
Thank you.
Is it still in committee, trustee
No,
Clark?
no, it
No,
won.
It's
Yeah.
moved out,
It's on
moved out of
second,
committee?
yeah.
No co-sponsors?
no co-sponsors got out 8-3. It's on second reading in the House. And I think, give me a second, I think deadline week is next week. Let me just double check.
The main, or the sponsor of this bill is a woman from Romeoville.
And she's in leadership,
And, yes,
so that is concerning.
very concerning.
There's a time for comments later in the meeting. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, and the other important thing about this bill is that once the, they only have, once a board or a county specifically grants for services being discontinued, the plan must only include a reason why, you know?
It's way too easy to
It's
try
way
to
too
eliminate it.
easy to, eliminate your library, your sanitary district, your drainage district, streetlights district. And then on June 13th is the Talk Spring Conference. Once again, it will be out in Oak Brook at the Doubletree. And there is also a flyer about that with the different breakout sessions.
Yeah, there's a lot of really very timely topics in there, so, yes.
And as usual, the exercise class is going very well.
Okay. Very good, thank you. Any questions for Trustee Clark?
Where is the senior fraud common scams going to be?
The
In
auditor,
the auditorium,
Second floor?
second floor auditorium, yes.
yes.
And it's gotten, from the people that I've talked to, it's gotten really good response.
Thank you for setting that up.
Good, and thank Trustee Carroll for giving me the contact.
Right.
Yeah, we love doing that in my other life. Love doing that.
All right. Trustee Heilenbach, do you have a report for us?
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Mental Health Board met at Helping Hand in Hotchkins for our last meeting. As you are aware, we gone through our core agencies and had a meeting at their facility to concentrate on them to see how they're providing for the residents of Riverside Township. As we would expect, Helping Hand provided a very good program for us, gave us a tour of their facilities, told us what they were doing, some of the things that they were working on. It was very, very nice and very impressive. Keep in mind that our Health and Wellness Fair will be on June 8th at the North Riverside Village Commons. As was stated in the meeting, this will be our third event. It's gotten bigger each year. I know that I took my mom to the doctor, and at the University of Chicago, and the office manager said, I've signed up for the Health and Wellness Fair again this year. Appreciate that. Now, can we get my mom in? So, the financial, our financial condition to the township was delivered and has been published. And this month's meeting will be held next Wednesday, the 17th at 6 o'clock. That's not right. It's 7 o'clock, I believe.
There was something in the report to the annual meeting about moving up, the meetings up.
Yeah.
But
I
that
have to
wasn't,
double check that. It says 6 o'clock. Joan doesn't make too many errors, so it is probably 6 o'clock, and it will be held.
should be posted out in the hallway. too.
Right, and it'll be held here at the Township Hall. All is invited. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for Trustee Heilenbach?
June 8th.
Please note, on June 8th, you should come and get your private documents shredded and then go over to the Health and Wellness Fair.
Yes,
Two
please.
birds with one stone that day.
It's Township Day.
Yes. All right, on to the next matter, and that would be unfinished business. We have, you have in your packet the draft of the Riverside Township budget ordinance that we have discussed. And we will, this would be a proposal to open it up for inspection by the public. And then that would also, it would be available to the public for the next 30 days plus. And then the next item will be to set a hearing date. So what is your pleasure on the budget ordinance for April 1, 2024 through March 31, 2025?
Is this a motion to adopt or a motion to publish?
Motion to public,
I make,
right.
I will make a motion that we publish the proposed fiscal year 24-25 budget.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion by trustee Carroll, seconded by trustee Heilenbach, to publish the draft Riverside Township budget ordinance for 2024-2025. And that would be made available both in the, at the township for inspection. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, then, I don't know, should that be a roll call?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do a roll call vote, yes.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Carroll.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes,
Unanimous, motion carries.
motion is carried. That will be available for inspection. And then the next item would be to set a public hearing, and I would propose that be for Tuesday, May 14th at 6:45, which would precede our next regular township board meeting, and that would take place in this room. The copies of the said budget would be available for inspection during regular business hours from now until then, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the township office. A public hearing on the budget and ordinance would then be held, as I suggest, Tuesday, May 14th at 6:45 in this room, room 4 of the Riverside Town Hall. I will make that a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Moved by Supervisor Wilt, seconded by Trustee DeCassola, to set a hearing date for Tuesday, May 14th at 6:45 in this room for the discussion of the budget and appropriation ordinance for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Are there any questions, any discussion? Hearing none, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Carroll.
Yes.
Trustee DeCosta.
Yes.
Trustee Heilenbach.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion is carried. Thank you. Next is new business, and that we discussed the community partnership application, no longer to be called grants. The discussion at our committee of the whole recommended that we really, as I indicated in the annual meeting, that we very carefully scrutinize expenditures because we're going to have a lot of building projects over the coming years. And so anything that we will consider on the quarterly basis would be in the nature of a partnership grant, a financial partnership for services that the township would be entitled to and should be doing, but doesn't have the wherewithal to do itself. So we would be partnering with organizations that can conduct those activities on our behalf, and we would financially support them that way. Just as a general thing, we are going to be scrutinizing things carefully. We're not just going to be giving money out for various things. And the application for such and the rules have been adjusted, and they are ready to be published on your approval at this meeting. You have those applications in your binders. So what is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the new community partnership agreement.
I have a motion by trustee Clark. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
And a second by trustee Carroll to approve the partnership application. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. All right. We have items, simply informational items, and those include some things that have been mentioned before, but there's a reminder to please file your statement of economic interest by the deadline. The deadline is May 1st. If you haven't already done so, you can do that online, and as a matter of fact, our legal counsel has offered a little explanation if anybody needs some help understanding some of those questions. His firm has a little how-to, and I will share that with you as soon as I receive that. So reminder to file those. The Lions Club Chicken Dinner is scheduled for Sunday, April 21st, right here in this building, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Poster is in the front hall. Tickets are available at the door or through your friendly lion. Then we have the Senior Fraud and Common Scams program that was already mentioned by trustee Clark. Once again, that will be held on Tuesday, April 30th at 10 a.m. here in the Riverside Town Hall in the second floor auditorium. A representative from the Illinois Attorney General's office and a Riverside police officer, Daniel Morello, will speak about the increase of scammers targeting senior citizens and how seniors can spot the warning signs in order to better protect themselves from becoming victims of fraud. There will be free refreshments and free admission. So please come and check that out. We also have a reminder of the North Riverside Senior Fair will be held on May 9th from 10 a.m. until noon, and we are participating in that event as well. And then, as trustee Clark mentioned, the spring conference for township officials and others who are interested is going to be held on June 13th at the Doubletree Hilton in Oak Brook. And there's a very hearty agenda, and I encourage all of our members to sign up. Please let me know, and we can send in one registration. If you're interested, please notify me. Okay, and the next item is for closed session. It deals with employee matters. So I would entertain a motion to go into closed session, to recess for a closed session.
So moved.
And specifically for compensation.
For compensation discussion, yes. Right, yeah, that's the only topic for discussion is the annual compensation adjustment. If you want to wait, this should not be a terribly long discussion. We will reconvene afterwards, but anybody who is not on the board is asked to clear the room at this point. Yes, we're ready to go. All right. So we had a little technical difficulty here. So I will recap that we have reconvened the open session, having closed the closed session. We had a motion by trustee Clark.
Trustee Heilenbach?
By trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee Carroll to approve the recommendations of the township supervisor for salary increases to be effective as of April 1st. And the vote was taken with all in favor?
Five to
Yes,
zero.
five voted in favor and no nays. And then we have just gone through the warrants, where I'll actually let you read from the record as to what took place.
Sure. There were two approvals of warrants. The first was approval of warrant, general warrant in the amount of $33,369.03. The motion was made by trustee Heilenbach and seconded by trustee Carroll for unanimous vote of approval. The second was a motion made by trustee Heilenbach to authorize and ratify the payment of the utility warrant in the amount of $1,588.61, the payroll warrant in the amount of $20,154.01, the health warrant in the amount of $3,166.14, the general assistance warrant in the amount of $6,369.89, the township radio players in the amount of $200, and the food pantry warrant in the amount of $354.98. The motion was made by trustee Heilenbach, seconded by trustee DeCosta, and unanimously approved.
Thank you very much. All right, we are up to the point of public comments. We have some people in our audience today. Are there any public comments? And if you have it, would you please step to the microphone, identify yourself, and present your comments?
My name is. It's
It's fine, yeah, it's
Hello?
on, yeah. You're not going to hear it here, it's for the television. Okay.
I was expecting the speaker. Okay. Okay. First comment. In line with when you brought up the thing about
Will you tell us your name, sir?
David Shade. You need my address?
Please.
475 Shenstone Road, condo 303.
Thank you.
First, I want a little clarification on House Bill 5050. Now, this proposal by this woman downstate in Romeoville, does this mean that someone that's sitting on city council or in a position or anyone in the town can propose something and then by one person proposing it, can wipe out anything?
I haven't read the bill, but if you,
Go ahead, John.
ILGA.gov is the Illinois General
Oh.
Assembly's website.
ILGA?
Yeah, the Illinois General Assembly's website,
And-
ilga.gov. And on
Okay.
the left side, you can just put in, it says search by number, put in
50.
HB 5050
Okay.
and the entire statute. I'd note that there's a House amendment, so you want to click on that one.
Now, will this be on the ballot then for November? Is that where it's?
No,
No,
This
no,
is
this is the bill
legislative.
pending in the General Assembly in the House
Oh, right now?
right now, right? And it's
So
going to
the-
be passed out by a week from this coming Friday.
So if it's not on the ballot in November, then they could literally vote this into law and we're all under this ordinance that,
Well, it has to pass the House, then go to the
Oh.
Senate, then get out of committee, and then get passed, and then the governor has to sign. So it's
okay,
I want
it's two
to
steps.
yeah. Clarify,
clarify something.
yeah.
It's the county board. The county board has this authority.
Yeah, not any board. A county board
It's
could,
the county board.
Oh,
in order to reduce expenditures, they could propose these.
so someone in the county could say, I want to do away with every library, and then just one other person, and it's out? It's like that? That's the silliest thing.
I doubt that.
No,
I
but-
haven't read the whole
No,
thing,
no,
but,
but that's where we have to read the fine print.
yeah. Well, yeah.
But it does authorize the county to take extreme measures
To save on.
for efficiency.
Well, that's like saying tax deficit, right? To cut the tax deficit. Right?
So technically, it's just a plan.
Well, yeah, but plans can go awry, right?
No later than
Exactly.
24 months after the formation of the committees,
Oh,
the board must prepare a report to the General Assembly that includes a plan to reduce the number of governmental units by 10 to 20%. So it's a mandate for a board to have a plan filed with the General Assembly. Doesn't mean that they have to enact the plan. At least that's my reading of the bill.
That they
Okay.
would have to make a recommendation to the
Yeah,
General
like
Assembly.
like what we do with our decennial, this would be a different step.
Right.
but you're
If you
saying,
had to, what would we cut, right? So that.
but you're saying take it to the extreme if they tell you, okay, every single town and the county's gotta cut their budgets by 10%, then you're thinking, well, do we do the library, do we do this, do that? Is that what's?
Yeah, I mean, cuts have to come from somewhere, so yeah, that would be a robust discussion.
Oh, then you'll have a full house there then.
Yeah.
Issue number 2, about the sequential, I mean, the 150th anniversary coming up. I noticed there's an ad hoc committee. Can anyone attend those meetings too?
That's the village.
Okay.
That's not us. We're the
Anniversary of
township.
Riverside, is that
What?
what you're talking about?
Yeah, the village of Riverside, the 150th
Yeah, that's the
anniversary.
village, we're the township.
Different governmental body.
Different
Wait a
government.
You mean we have 2,
So the village provides services like safety, police and fire, and issues permits and all of those things. The township basically provides social services. We have senior programs, we have food
Okay.
pantry.
So
So
this
we're
is
a
the town-
different kind of government, where we, earlier this evening, had the annual meeting of the township,
Oh.
where all voting eligible residents can come, and a month before the meeting, if they propose some topic to come before it, we didn't have any such thing, but we could consider that. But we're a different government, we do our own taxing.
Okay. So I guess what I'm asking is, can I attend the ad hoc group, or can anyone show up or not? For the-
That-
In preparation for the
I
parade?
presume that the village has open meetings on any committees like that as well.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just advisory and it's not elected officials, it might not be an open meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, it says ad hoc after it, so,
I
It's
think,
just temporary, that means
okay.
that it's just-
I mean,
I think I can answer that question.
Okay.
Is yes, you can attend.
okay, I would,
And they meet on the second Monday.
Yeah, I wrote down
They
the-
generally meet in the room
Yeah.
upstairs.
because I was gonna say remember about, what was it, maybe a dozen years ago, there was a debacle, there wasn't enough money for the parade, and those housewives got together and had the parade, so I mean, we would definitely want something for the 150th.
Oh, they,
We're not gonna let that,
They are in full swing with
they're
plans.
full strength.
they better be in full swing.
Full swing and have very extensive plans to
Okay.
celebrate this.
I mean, because a weird tie-in I think of is, I mean, because you know our tie-in with Friends, you know, the TV show, Central Perk, the coffee shop, and there's actually Central Perks all around the U.S. I mean, there's a couple in the hospitals downstate. I mean, we have a huge opportunity here to capitalize on publicity for Riverside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, you have to attend that.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
They're very, very well organized.
Yeah, well, I would hope so.
And, as I said, they have extensive plans for a celebration.
Okay, and then the last thing I want to bring up is, well, maybe it's set in stone now that, if the whole village is, I know it's been, honored with the thing of it, the whole village is now considered a, landmark, not just, you know.
Again, that's out of our
Well, I know,
realm, right.
but what I want to get at is, I know at this meeting, maybe the last time I was here, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, there was a 85-year-old woman that got up and said she'd almost hit a bicyclist on her car. And I'm concerned about the same problem. There's literally hundreds of youths during the summer riding around Riverside without any lights or any.
Again, those would be village ordinances. They meet on the first and third
Oh, okay.
Thursday of the month. It's not out of our control.
Okay, so maybe I came to the wrong meeting. Okay.
That
All
could
right,
very well be.
all right.
We are happy to have you.
Okay. thanks.
Thank you for your input, though. Are there any other public comments? Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by trustee DeCassola, seconded by trustee Clark, to adjourn this meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is carried.